On live with me today is Carol and Marcia. They're regional operations managers with Chicanos por la Causa. Carol and Marcia, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and right in. Oh, yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm going to dive right in. To start off, can you tell us about Chicanos por la Causa?
Yes, well, again, thank you so much for having us on your platform and letting us share about the programs that we offer. So I'll tell you a little bit about Chicanos. Chicanos por la Causa, or as people like to say, CPLC, is a nonprofit organization and one of the largest Hispanic community development corporations in the United States. We were founded in 1969, and we have offices in Nevada, Texas, New Mexico, and of course, Arizona. CPLC offers a wide variety of services, not only to the Latino community, but to people regardless of their ethnic backgrounds. So that's a little bit about Chicanos itself.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Can you tell me what are some of the program options that CPLC offers?
Yes, of course. The department which oversees the Head Start programs, that's where Marcia and I work for, is called the Early Childhood Development Department. And then again, we like to shorten everything, so we refer that to ECD, so our ECD Arizona department. So CPLC ECD is currently not only in Arizona, but in Texas and New Mexico as well. But we are here in Arizona. So I know we have a little map, if you don't mind putting it up, and I'll kind of go through the programs that we offer.
Yep.
The first program, and so you'll see the map, and then you'll see little red arrows to indicate what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start with we have our migrant and seasonal Head Start and Early Head Start program. And we're going to start down on the bottom there in Cochise County. So we have a migrant and seasonal Head Start in the Wilcox area in Cochise County. And then if we move a little bit further up to Pinal County, you'll see arrows there that are indicating a migrant program there in the Eloy area of Pinal County. Then we are moving more north to Maricopa County. And in Maricopa County, the migrant centers there there's one in the Queen Creek area, which is like to the left, the far east of Maricopa County, right there on the border of Pinal and Maricopa. And also we have one up there up the top in Surprise, and that's our Dysart Center, Migrant Center. Yes, right there. And then if you move all the way to the left, down at the bottom there, that's where that's in Yuma County, and we have multiple centers there. We have centers in the Yuma area, in the Somerton area, and also in the San Luis area. So that's for our migrant seasonal Head Start and Early Head Start. Then we move, another option that we have is our Early Head Start. And where we have those focused in the Maricopa area. And that's again, right in downtown Phoenix. And also we have one of those centers located in the Queen Creek area for Early Head Start. And our final option we have is our Child Care Partnership for Migrant and Seasonal Early Head Start. That's our final program that we offer. And that is, you'll find one of those sites in the Pinal County area, the Eloy again area. And you'll find multiple providers, about 18 contracted providers, and a site in the Yuma area in Yuma County. So those are the areas that we serve with our program options. And let me just tell you, we have about a little over 350 staff, and we serve about almost 1,100 children. And of course, as you saw, all over the state of Arizona.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. To be honest, I had no idea Chicanos por la Causa, or CPLC, spread out that much in the state of Arizona. And to be honest, I realized you guys were in different states. So I thank you today.
Yeah, so I wanted to say also, so you can see how spread out we are. So Marcia actually is the regional operations manager of the Yuma area. And it looks like it's a smaller area, but they have probably more sites than we do. And then I am the regional operations manager of the central region, which is all those other areas that you see, all those other counties, Maricopa, Pinal, and Cochise counties. So we are very spread out in our ECD Arizona branch. Yes.
Well, that's really, for me, I'm really happy to hear that because it really feels like you guys are really putting programming where it's needed by the community. I'm assuming why those sites are there. So makes my heart very, very happy. I guess moving on to our next question, and I believe Marcia is going to answer this one. Can you tell us what areas or sites CPLC is hiring for?
Yes, as we are spread out and we provide services in multiple areas throughout the state, we have several job opportunities for our state. And I'll walk you through each of them, and then I'll also speak to the city that the job opening is available. For example, right now we have 2 job openings for a center office manager. They help our managers, our hiring managers, and support the facility, support our hiring manager in that facility. And so 2 sites have vacancies. One of them is our Wilcox Center and our Yuma Center as well. We have teacher assisted positions available for our Queen Creek area and again, our Wilcox area. We also have opportunities for home visitors, and that's for our early Head Start program in our Phoenix area. We have bus driver. We have a dual position, our bus driver, facility custodian. So that's one position, but they serve multiple, they support multiple areas. And so it's our bus driver, facility custodian, and we have opportunities in several of our sites. Our Yuma Center, our San Luis, Arizona Center, our Wilcox Center, our Eloy Center, and lastly, our Dysart Center. Many of our as our state has also shown or experienced a lack of bus drivers, we're also experiencing that as well. So we just want to get the word out for that particular position as well, that if you know of anyone with a CDL or is interested for a bus driver position, please give them a shout out for that and let them know. And then also we have our infant toddler opportunity, infant toddler teacher in our Phoenix area. We also have bus aides for the following areas: Wilcox, Eloy, Queen Creek, and our Somerton Center.
Got it.
We have also an opportunity for floater teachers. And so they support our center in providing support for our preschool teacher and infant toddler teacher. They also support our coaching practices as well. And we have an opportunity in a couple of our areas, our Phoenix site, our Eloy, and Wilcox. We also have opportunities for a preschool teacher position in Wilcox, Queen Creek, and San Luis area. Lastly, we have an opportunity for education specialists, and that can vary. And so I just want to, it's statewide. So they have an opportunity to provide support statewide, meaning in Arizona. So that's not linked to a center or to an area. It's if they can support in multiple sites.
So I'm assuming then that would involve travel as part of the job and being in different sites depending on what is needed?
That is correct, yes.
Great. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity for those who like to see different parts of the state.
Thank you. And then again, I just want to clarify because we do provide migrant seasonal services. That's why we have openings. We provide transportation for our kiddos, and that's why we're looking for bus aides and bus drivers as well.
Yes, and I was thinking that is something unique to your programming because most other Head Start programming do not provide transportation, but because you guys do meet that very much need in the migrant seasonal work community, you do provide transportation for families. So hence why you're looking for bus drivers. So it's very good to know. Thank you so much, Marcia.
Thank you.
Are there any specific requirements or qualifications needed for those positions?
Yes, there is. And let me start with our bus driver facility custodian position, because that's a position that we're highly in need of, as many other organizations are as well. And so the minimum qualification is a high school diploma or GED. And so ideally, we do prefer someone with their CDL certification and willing to pass the Department of Transportation test within 60 days. However, if they don't have those preferred qualifications, the CDL and the passing of the test, we can also consider individuals and candidates with a high school diploma and GED, as long as they're willing to obtain those certifications within 60 days. The other item that I'd like to add for that position is that we are fortunate enough to have someone that will assist them in obtaining those certifications as well. So we have that in our program that we're able to provide the candidate if selected as well.
Got it. So someone will help them kind of go through that process so they can obtain those required items for the position.
Yes, and then once obtained, we are able to reimburse for those fees as well. Great. Something also that I'd like to highlight.
That is actually a very, very good highlight. So thank you for sharing. I guess moving on to any other requirements or qualifications?
Yes, so with our education specialist and our floater teacher, because as I mentioned, they are a foundation in providing support for our teaching staff. For our education specialist, we're looking for someone with a bachelor's degree in early childhood education or related field. Okay. And for our floater teacher, where one of the minimum qualifications is to have a bachelor's as well in early childhood education. So for those two positions, we do ask for a minimum of a bachelor's because they're the foundation of providing additional professional growth for our staff.
Got it.
And if I can also highlight for our preschool teacher, the minimum qualifications for our preschool teacher is to have an associate's degree in early childhood education or related field, but also willing to obtain a bachelor's in ECE in early childhood education as well with our preschool teacher.
Got it. Do you guys offer any kind of ongoing professional development to staff so that they can obtain their bachelor's or continue on in their education while they're working with you?
Great question. We definitely do. If we're able to, we set them up with a professional development plan through a plan, and also we are able to have them, or we are able to reimburse them from their tuition as long as they meet the requirements, the educational requirements and grades for that.
Great, that's a great incentive. Thank you for sharing about that. And I think we have a few more positions to highlight. So what additional requirements are there?
Yes, for our infant toddler teachers, the minimum qualifications is a child development associate certificate, specifically though in infant toddler child development. So it's a CDA in infant toddler development. And again, we always encourage our staff to continue their education, and with the same incentive of, if possible, we're able to reimburse their tuition.
Got it. Thank you.
I'd also like to, not highlight, but also explain we're also looking for teacher assistants, and their minimum qualifications is a, excuse me, is a high school or GED. However, if they come in with a high school or GED, they must obtain, or they must enroll into a program that they're able to obtain their CDA in preschool or their associates. So I just also want to clarify that the minimum qualification can be a high school diploma or GED, but again, the willingness of obtaining their CDA and associates in a certain time frame as well. And we're able to support that education as well.
Got it. I know when I've talked to other programs about this position, they tend to highlight this as a great position for those, recently graduating from high school or those in college that are maybe looking to get experience working in the classroom. If they're thinking about early childhood teaching as a potential career, coming in as a teacher assistant is a great way to kind of see what it's all about and, kind of get that hands-on experience.
Definitely. We're fortunate enough that we sometimes have interns that come into our classrooms to obtain their credits. And so they assist our classrooms. And so while they're getting that experience and get to know our program, they fall in love even more with early education and our program, and we're able to recruit from our students that have been assisting in the classroom. So that is such a very true fact that throughout it seems.
Yeah, I will say, I admit, kind of how I got started in the field of education. I was in college, I think for like journalism, and I ended up getting a job as a special education aide in a school. And I ended up, falling in love with it, that I switched careers or majors, I guess you would say, from journalism to special education. And then 10, 15 years later, cut to now I work for Head Start. So it is always a great way to get that hands-on experience and see what it is to work with students. And I think if it's something that you're curious about, you're thinking about, you want to make a career, you want to learn about it, it's a great way to kind of do that. So thanks for talking about that. I think the next one on our list is talking about the home visitor.
Yes, with our home visitors, again, that's for our early Head Start program in Phoenix. And so their minimum qualification would be a CDA, comparable credentials such as a infant CDA. And again, I emphasize the infant CDA because with our early Head Start program, we work with younger children. Also because our home visitor is a unique position that they also support the family and provide home visits, we ask that they obtain their family development credential within 18 months. Again, that's just a minimum qualification of a CDA, but coming in and selected, we ask that they continue their education because we do promote professional growth and educational growth in our program.
And just to kind of even add on to that, really one of the pillars of Head Start is just keep going forward and keep kind of moving along those steps of education, career-wise, whatever that might be. And so one of the things we really push in Head Start with our families is, okay, this is where you're at now. What's your next step, or what's your next goal, and how can we help you get there? And so a big part of it is having parents come in, be volunteers. A lot of parents end up going from volunteer to assistant to floater. They kind of make the ranks and move along that spectrum of positions within Head Start, because that really is the premise of Head Start. You could start here, but if you really put in the work, get the education, you can really go far. And I know a lot of our staff here started off as Head Start parents and now work as either family advocates, caseworkers, managers. So like you were saying, it's really one of the main pillars of Head Start. So thank you for sharing that. And I see the next one, I think we have, did we talk about the bus aid position?
We didn't, and I'd like to highlight that. Thank you. Our minimum qualifications for our bus aid is a high school diploma or GED. However, we do prefer a CDA, either in infant, toddler, or in preschool. But again, the minimum qualification is a high school diploma, but we like to promote, again, professional growth, educational growth. So that's why we ask for a CDA as well.
Got it. Well, thank you. I mean, just hearing all that, you guys are really hiring for a wide spectrum of positions. So we're not looking for just one type of person, one type of background. So if you know, anyone watching, if you know anyone, if you think, oh, that might be a good position for so-and-so, I know they're looking for a job. So again, bus drivers, custodian, education specialists, teachers, both for the infant toddler portion, which is 0 to 3, and preschool, which is 3 to 5, teacher assistants, home visitors, bus aides, really anyone that you can think of who is looking for a job that might be good, let them know CPLC is hiring. And remember, it's not just in Phoenix, it's not just in Yuma, it's statewide. So please share. So our next question, we're gonna talk about benefits. And Carol, I'm gonna throw this one to you. Can you tell us about benefits offered by CPLC and why people should work there?
Yes, I'd be happy to. And there are many, many benefits to working for CPLC ECD. I just highlight 3 of them. So the first one would be our company provided benefits. So CD provided, and those would be health insurance, of course, dental insurance. We have a vision insurance. We have a great 401k that we're provided. We're provided with life insurance. We're also provided with short-term and long-term disability. Of course, we're provided with paid time off and holiday time off, which includes that week of the Christmas week we get off. So those are like the company, the typical benefits that you would get as an employee. The second thing I was going to highlight, but Anna, you and Marsha both kind of touched on those a little, but I'll still touch on it, is the education reimbursement for professional development. We do offer reimbursement for classes that staff has taken, but we also encourage our parents. We're really, we believe solely in or highly in professional development, not only for staff, but for our families as well. And we encourage our families to become part of our ECD Arizona family. We currently, as a matter of fact, have a number of former Head Start parents on our staff and have been with us quite a while. And just an FYI, we also have some children of our program in Head Start, our migrant Head Start for CPLC, 2 of which are with us today. So Anna and Marsha are both our former CPLC children. And so we have a few of those. It's not uncommon that we see that. So, you know, congratulations to that. And the last thing I was going to highlight, if you want to put that the slide back up, is we're really proud to talk about wellness in CPLC. So not only CPLC, the company, has a wellness program which provides activities and incentives for staff to become healthy with our Arizona, with our Blue Cross Blue Shield Arizona incentives to become healthy. But also each of our sites have their own ECD Arizona wellness. We call them wellness committee. And you can see on the screen there some of the activities they do at the different sites. So we encourage staff activities like hiking. There's the sites that do hiking. Some do, you know, the heart walks. They get together to do those. Some do yoga or Pilates or whatever, Zumba at their sites on the Fridays that they have no children. And if you look also there, you'll see like a little massage chair. This is one of our newest activities. Is we are creating spaces for for staff to go where they can relax. Some sites have spaces where they can relax. They have some massage chairs and aromatherapy and music, and or they have a coffee bar, or we have other sites like our Wilcox site who made one of their rooms into an actual gym with equipment that the staff can go in and work out. So wellness is huge at CPLC, and many incentives that staff are getting as well to do these activities. So those were just a few things to highlight. But it is a family atmosphere, and just a great place to work.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing all that.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited that you guys do so much for the staff wellness of your staff. So I learned something else new. I see the next part of the job fair is letting people know how they can apply. So let's see, I believe, both of you were going to answer this question. How can people apply or find out more about the positions? And I'll go ahead and share that information as well.
Yeah, we do have a link that I believe you're going to share for everybody. So there is a link that you can look at our jobs that Marcia was going through so thoroughly. But when you do that, remember that we do have other ECD departments in other states, namely New Mexico and Texas. So when you're searching on the jobs, just make sure that you're searching for Arizona, because they'll give you all of the jobs that ECD, if you're looking under just education, that all of the early child development departments have. So just kind of whittle that down to Arizona. And as you can see, these are, we provided some of the site phone numbers, all of the sites actually that are hiring, so that if anybody wanted to call the site directly, if they were interested in maybe that office manager position in the Wilcox area, and they wanted to call the Wilcox center service manager, who is the manager there, they can talk them through a little more about specifics of the job that they're looking for. And I believe they're going to put both Marcia and my email for you to contact us as well, and then we can direct you in the right area.
Yes, that information is going to be shared in the chat for the live event.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcia, I think I took all the.
No, that's fine. I just want to add that we really promote longevity for our staff, and that's why I kept on emphasizing professional growth and educational growth, because we've seen it, as you mentioned, Donna, we've seen it that someone can come in as a volunteer and grow and apply as a teacher assistant or a bus aide and move on to a bus aide, to bus driver. And so we really promote longevity, and also in connecting it with professional development to see that growth and evolution with our staff in providing that services to our community and children. So they think that's also a benefit in working for our Head Start programs, and I know with other organizations as well. But I wanted to highlight that we have a long list of staff that have longevity here in our program.
Thank you, Marcia, for sharing that. I think that is really an excellent benefit, and it just shows you the framework that I think all of our Head Start program, it's just, we value our staff. We know the work we do is important, and we really do promote that professional development, that growth mindset of, like, just because you're here doesn't mean this is where you stay. We really work on that growth mindset. And actually today I sat in on a retirement party for someone who was with Head Start for over 20 years. And it just shows you, like, a lot of times when people find Head Start, they stay in Head Start because it's just the premise of it, just the way we operate. It's all about the children, getting them ready for school. And actually, I take that back. It's not about the children. children is one part, but it's really about the whole family, the whole community. Obviously, a lot of emphasis on the children, but we do provide a lot of emphasis on the parents, the family, the grandparents, the caregivers, and what is it that they need to help their children be ready, to get ready. So if education is something you've been thinking about, it's something you're interested in learning more about, what could that look like? You know, give them a call, have a conversation. I know programs are always willing to, you know, do a little tour, have a conversation, just so that people have an understanding of what it's like. And if they are interested, you know, give it a shot. So I just want to say thank you, Carol. Thank you, Marcia, for joining us today on our Arizona Head Start Association Job Fair. Thank you for letting us highlight your programming and your open positions. I wish you the best of luck because, you know, we are all trying to get ready for this upcoming school year and to fill open positions now. So I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Our pleasure.
Yeah, well,
Yes, thank you.
yeah, I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.